Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here, welcome back to Revive the Witch. So Broken Lands has reset for the week, this is week 4, technically week 2 of the bi-weekly rotation. In this video I'm going to be also showing you guys the gameplay of me clearing each stage, which a lot of you guys have requested. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, Area 1, as you can see, the enemies will mostly deal magic damage, so make sure that your team is built on magical defense. And for Area 1, I want you guys to set your auto combat mode to free mode. And now let's take a look at the team. So as you can see, we have Avil built on magical defense. For now, let's just switch to this one. Yeah. So give him as much HP as you can and as much magical defense as you can, obviously. And as you can see, he's not really raised that much in terms of the skill. And then our main use for him will be the second skill, Unbending Will, which costs 3 chaos. Next up, we have Suzerni, the next important piece of the team. As you can see, she's not really invested much. You know, you can invest in more attack just to heal a little more. She's not as invested in skills. And that's about it. Her main use will be her first skill, which costs 3 order. And last but not least, we have Yurigu. She's mainly there to just stall the enemy right at the start. So as you can see, you know, for now, let's just temporarily give magic defense. There you go. So this is her stats, you know, not really ascended at all. Again, not invested into the skill tree. Her use is just there to be at the front and survive for as long as possible. So now that we've got the team out of the way, let's see this team in action. Very important, choose Yurigu first, Avil second, and Suzerni third. And the first thing you do right away, set Avil second skill and Suzerni first skill. And then once the burst mode activates, make sure you set Avil to the second skill ASAP. And then that's it. So that got a little bit close, as you can see. I guess you would want to upgrade your Suzerni further, you know, just so she doesn't, you know, get defeated so quickly. But Avil's stats is, you know, just about enough. So unfortunately, you do need to raise him up a little bit. But as you can see, that was Area 1. Alright, now for Area 2. So again, the enemy this time does deal magic damage, but they also deal physical damage. So for this setup, the most important thing to have really is a tanky frontliner and good single target healing. And so I formed this, you know, like in 5 or 10 minutes, and I think it will work. As you can see, these are the stats of the witch. I would just highly suggest using a, you know, tanky guardian, but I'm trying to make this, you know, as free to play as possible. So in this case, I'm using witch. Now, of course, I'm using legendary gear, but as long as you have like similar stats to this on your tank character, then it shouldn't be an issue. And her role is to literally just be up front and do nothing. Now, next up, we have Sinesha. If you're able to invest in her a little bit more, it's good. So her heal will do a little bit more healing. She's not really invested that much. I would suggest getting at least level 2 emergency heal. And then these are her stats. And you're mainly going to be using her first skill. Last but not least, we have our new event SSR. So I'm going to be making a review on her after I make her Ascend 4 and Evolve 3, of course. But these are her stats. She's currently level 40, Ascend 2, and I've given her purple gear based on magic defense. However, she's not really going to be hit anyway, so, you know, there's no really any need for her defenses. So now that we've got the team, it's relatively straightforward as well. Just have your tanky frontliner. I'm using Witch in this regard because she's, you know, not UR and stuff. Second up, we have Sinesha, and then our Mage. So make sure you do it in this order with your tanky up front. So right away, you set Sinesha S1 and her S2, or our DPS. And then make sure once the burst mode arrives to set the second skill on our DPS on the left here. There you go. quickly set, and then essentially just watch the game unfold. And now that one of them has been defeated, the other one is going to be simple to defeat as well, so that's very nice. And there you go. So hopefully you guys do have a tanky character that you can use instead of the witch, our main character. But as you can see, you know, it's doable with free-to-play characters, because Celestia is free-to-play, and same for the current event character. Alright, so Area 3. First things first, the enemy, they will deal magic and physical damage, so you kind of want someone that is relatively tanky on both, or just make sure that their stats are about the same, the defensive stats. So they will mostly attack the frontline enemy and stuff, but we're going to be aiming for a solo run anyway. And the character that we're going to be using for that is Luan, of course. So she's currently level 26, Ascend 3. I've given her the shield for more HP, the robe, and this necklace for magic defense, and these are her stats. If you have Luan at Ascend 4, you can solo with her, but if you don't, then I would just suggest using someone like Arcana and Cuspidata just for the Mercury bonus. So let's see this in action. And before we do that, ensure that your auto combat is in default mode. Now let me take you through how I will clear Area 3. So first things first, set her front, any of these two in any order, and then Luan at the back. And then all this will do is, you know, just give some time to gain some mana, and then once they're both eliminated, you set up your auto. And now you just watch the fight progress. And there you go. So that took an insane amount of time. That was sped up as well. As you can see, the combat time was 465 seconds. I know it's very long, but as you can see, I'm trying to make it, you know, as free to play as possible. And so far, we're essentially 3 for 3. I guess Luan, you would have to get lucky in pulling her, or you can do first purchase, which I didn't do, obviously. Alright, so Area 4. So, before I say anything, if you followed my guide so far, we have used 0 URs. So technically, theoretically, Area 4 should be the easiest stage for you guys. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have like a good roster of characters that are high rarity. So essentially, honestly, just use your best team and you should be able to do fine. But for this example, let's take a quick look at the kit before I tell you guys my team. So this guy will deal a lot of physical damage and only a little bit of magic damage. So you want to build your team on physical defense for this battle. And I'm going to be only using 1 UR for Area 4. So let's take a look at the team. So as I've mentioned first, my first character that I'm going to be using is Tonel. She is my front liner. These are her stats. You won't need legendary gear if your stats are around this level, but of course you're better off using a tank, but I don't have a fallen. So these are her stats. Her skill tree is up to her first passive, and that's about it. We're not going to be using any of her skills. Next up, we have Ushpia. She is our main damage dealer. Her passive up to the first one. This is, I'd say, pretty important because it does stun the enemy even if it's only half a second. It will delay some damage dealt and may even negate some damage that is about to be dealt. As you can see, pretty simple 3-star gear, physical defense focused, and attack ring. And last but not least, we have Lacrima. First things first, make sure that her first skill is set to level 2 minimum. Again, make her pretty tanky with the gear. As you can see, I've given her physical defense based equipment. And these are her stats. And that's about it. So again, this time before we start the fight, ensure that your auto settings are set to free mode. Alright, so one last thing to note when it comes to the team that I've just talked about. There's going to be some RNG involved because my characters are not... I guess they can still die depending on the rotation of the attacks, because the attacks of the enemy is, you know, kind of random. There's no actual pattern. And so if your Ushpia and your Lacrima is raised better, then they're not going to die to trample. Outside of that, you're just going to pray that Ushpia just stuns at the right time. So Toenail up front, Lacrima second, and Ushpia third. For free auto, make sure you set Lacrima first skill right away and Ushpia second skill. And during Arcana Burst, make sure you press Ushpia second skill right away as soon as possible. And now you just watch and hope for the best. Alright, so I think I got lucky there. The enemy didn't get a chance to do trample that much, so my team didn't get wiped. But in the case that your team does get trampled, just start over and just keep retrying, and you'll eventually beat it. And well, that's about it, guys. That is Broken Lands week 2 of the bi-weekly rotation. So let's quickly go over the 4 areas. So for area 1, we've used low rarity units, so Avil, R rarity, and then Urugu and Sazerni, who are SR. Second team, again, more free to play characters. We have our main character up front with a tanky build, Senesha, who we obtained for free as our main single target healer, and Acheronte or Acheronte, however you pronounce her name. Another free-to-play character that we get from this event as the DPS. For Area 3, again, mostly free-to-play characters. Cuspidata is an R rarity. Arcana we obtain for free, and Luan, hopefully you obtain her from pulling, or if you do want to spend, she is your first purchase bonus. And last but not least, for Area 4, if you followed all 3, you essentially just use your best team. But in this case, I tried to use as little URs as possible, and so for the whole Broken Lands, I only used 1 UR, and they are fully completed. And I'd say that's a good achievement. Hopefully this gives you guys a good idea on how Broken Lands works for week 2 of the bi-weekly rotation. If you do have any more questions in regards to completing Broken Lands, do let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully the comps are useful. I will make a guide or like a review for Acheronte herself once I've maxed her out, you know, just to let you guys know if she is worth raising and stuff like that. But in any case, hopefully this video was helpful. This time I did show gameplay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.